In today's fast-paced and technology-driven world, IT has become a strategic necessity to stay competitive and thrive in the digital age. Therefore, it needs 24/7 safety net for your IT infrastructure to ensure business continuity. With the Crayon Support Program, you get a solid technical support service for entire IT environment. Our support program minimizes the risk of long and costly downtime. You get support from certified experts with guaranteed SLAs for cloud break and fix support. You'll get unlimited administrator and cloud support and optional on-premises support. Crayon's strong relationships with the biggest vendors ensures that you get the highest priority for your requests. With Crayon IT support and quick turnaround, your IT infrastructure is safe. Visit our website to learn more.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our Crayon Support Service webinar. My name is Otilia Olteanu. I am Marketing Manager for Crayon Romania, and I am delighted to be your moderator today. We have a packed agenda ahead, and together we will explore an indispensable service, the one that offers you the peace of mind to pursue your favorite activities, while our Crayon experts will keep your IT infrastructure safe 24/7. It is my pleasure to present today's speakers, Jacob and Vincent. Jacob, our Global Technical Support Director, will guide us through an analysis of the critical role that support services play in realizing business success. Following Jacob's slot, Vincent, our Product Manager for Cloud Services, will deliver a detailed presentation of our support offerings. He will highlight the key features and the multitude of benefits that this service offers. Closer to the end of our agenda, we have the Q&A session, but we encourage you to post your questions in the chat for the whole duration of the webinar. So with a busy agenda ahead, it's time to kick off our webinar, and we will start with Jacob. Good morning, Jacob. How are you today?
Thank you. All good this morning.
Perfect. Virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you. So hello everyone and welcome. Let's kick it off right away and go into the topic. Why do we need support? Why do you need support? Right? In today's world, right? IT wise, right? It's important to look at the insurance part, right? Usually, as else in life, right? Things go okay until it doesn't, right? When that happens, and with the IT environment, right? Software or online services, at some point, it usually does, right? Go wrong at some point, and that's when you need your insurance, right? And you want that insurance to be the best, right? To secure that you get the fastest response and obviously also resolution. The need for support, this is obviously something that each and every one of you need to decide, right? What's my need around my environment, my software usage, my environments in the cloud? What kind of support do I need? What we do know is that more and more of us is moving into a online services and cloud world, right? This means that there is actually a vendor that is responsible and the service provider. And that is also life in cloud, right? That there are upgrades, there are new versions, there are improvements, right? From the vendor perspective, they do stuff that actually affects your environment and our environment. And that means that we need that fast track right to them to secure that when these things happens, we actually have a good response and resolution from them as fast as possible. Increase of vendor pricing. This is something we see that the direct support offerings, right? The direct support services that you can buy out of these vendors, Microsoft, AWS, Google, they are increasing in price. They are also increasing maybe content, but that means that the package that you now can buy right from the vendors might not be the correct package for you, right? Because it's either too big, right? It's too expensive, or obviously is the cost versus benefit like it should be, right? From your business perspective. So this is something we see that the vendors are, yes, it's good support, but it's also expensive, and it's also big packages of support, right? That may contain services that you don't necessarily want to pay for, at least not upfront. And then obviously, right, with support, right, you should get your IT peace of mind, which is what we seek, right? We seek to minimize business impact, right? We seek to minimize that things happen in the first place. But when it does, right, this is when support comes into the picture as an important part. Moving on, what is Crayon Support Service? Crayon Support Service contains basically of two main elements. That's our own technical support team, customer service that we have in Crayon, together with the back-end support agreements that we have with the vendor, right? So we have multiple back-end support agreements, right, with all the vendors, all the hyper vendors. That's our strategy, right, to have the best support level with Microsoft, with AWS, and Google is also added here to the map soon, because that's important. We work with all the hyper vendors, and that best level engineering support here, as you say, that will be the best level that you can get from the vendor. That means the best response time, that means the highest priority and best attention when something happens. So based on these components, we have support offerings that are aligned with your business, right? So if you have a small need, you can buy a more smaller package. If you have higher need or bigger need, you can buy a bigger or more enhanced support offering. As I mentioned, the highest support level that you can get from the vendor, this means that the level you get through Crayon are the same level that you can buy on those best direct support agreements from the vendor. Technical help and escalations, right? That's basically the core content, right? We provide you technical help, right? We also provide you, right, the fastest escalation to the vendors when that is needed. And obviously, as mentioned, we have a support service and support offering that is aimed to fit both smaller customer and needs, right, and higher volume and bigger customers. So basically what you need when you need it. Instead of buying that big package up front, you have a more service or pricing that escalate or that grows with your need throughout your business development. The support plans for AWS, we have basically one simple solution and offering, and that is what we call the Crayon AWS support, which is basically one support plan that you can buy that covers your entire AWS environment. For Microsoft, we have a bit different model. It means that you have different support plans to choose from based on your business need. If you are a customer or partner purchasing CSP, Cloud Solution Provider, subscriptions or licenses through Crayon, you also get some support included. So there's a basic support included, and then you can opt for, right, the more enhanced support, which is the advanced or premium level, as we call it. That basically gives you more content in your support offering and service, and it gives you the better SLAs, it gets you higher attention or priority. So it's basically the more you move to the right, the more better service you get. Other than that, the kind of core service delivery here and core content of the support is the same for AWS and Microsoft. So that's no different. So the core deliverables, this is important, right? What do I get, right, as the core basic package when I buy Crayon Support Service? You will get basically 4 different core services that is included in the offering. And that is what we call the break fix support. This is the incident part, right? Something is not working. So then either it's solved by Crayon's own technical team, or it goes to the vendor as an break fix incident that Microsoft or AWS needs to fix. So basically, Crayon submits the ticket on your behalf to the vendor backend. We have what we call the administrator support, and this is our help and how to, right? So this is the support provided by Crayon directly to you, right? So this can be everything from general guidance, right, to configuration issues in online services, especially since that is kind of the one-to-many support, right? But basically where Crayon engages, right, and helps you with the query or the incident or basically the question you will have on your technical environment. The service delivery management and follow-up, that's an important component because yes, we have the best level and support, right, from the vendor's back end, but that doesn't mean that they are flawless, right? Microsoft and AWS, right, there are big companies and we see that in the daily operation, we need to chase them, right? That's the reality, that some of the tickets that we escalate to Microsoft or AWS on our customers' behalf, we need to follow up closely, right? And sometimes we need to escalate, right? That means that we push Microsoft or AWS to get faster response or resolution. Normally, this is on the resolution phase, right? That we feel, and you or as the customer feel that things are moving too slowly. And then we use what we have, right, in our arsenal towards Microsoft and AWS on the support plan we have with them to push these tickets and get them to move faster. So this can be escalating, right, to the engineer that's assigned the ticket, the manager of the engineer. It can be our team in Microsoft or AWS that especially is dedicated to Crayon. It can be also raising, right, the severity on tickets to get more attention. But basically the service delivery management and follow-up that we provide being you being a Crayon customer. And then obviously the premium priority escalations. This is basically that we utilize our best backend support agreements with the vendor. So you have the highest severity, right? The severity 1 or severity A. On Microsoft side, you engage the critical situation team, the incident management team on those highly business critical incidents, right? That you need urgent attention and also resolution. So this is the 4 key components of the basic offering. Basic, I mean, and when I say basic, I mean kind of the core content, what you pay for, right, as the starting point. So this is the reactive support part, right? But then we also have more proactive add-ons, right, that we'll come back to soon. But point being, with Crayon support, you pay for the reactive part first and foremost, right? And then you can instead add more services and components to your service with Crayon or delivery instead of those vendor agreements where you kind of tend to need to pay upfront for other services that you might not need. Moving on, then we can jump to you, Vincent.
Yes. So good morning, everyone, also from my end. Thanks, Jacob, for the thorough discussion of what our services really entail. Yep. So let's now go into the how of or how does our Crayon Support Service work. Now, if you look at our team, who makes up of our Crayon technical support team. So our support team is made up of a team across the globe. So we have support for all day, every day, and we are also in all regions. So going from America, Europe to APAC. To give a little bit of background on volumes and our customers, we currently have 2.9K partners that are responsible for 65K end customers. So that's for our channel business. If you look at our direct business, we support 3.4K or 3.4 thousand direct customers But in total, if we combine everything up with 6.7 million seats and 9.5K or 9,500 Azure subscriptions. This is to show a bit that we know what we are doing. We have a dedicated team for this. We are able to support our partners, to support our end customers if needed. If there is a downtime, if there is another challenge, we are here to support. So if we go to the next slide, because I think this is also a really important one, is to showcase that our support service is based on a simple yet very transparent process that ensures a quick and effective resolution of technical issues, specific challenges that you entail during the business. So the process contains of four big steps. First of all, the customer wants to contact our Crayon support team because they have an issue, there is a technical issue, there is a challenge that they have. You can contact us through phone, email, web portal to report that issue or just require assistance on a specific matter. If you then go to the second step, that is the Crayon support team that acknowledges the request and assigns a severity level based on the impact and urgency of the issue. That's a really important one because in that step we will really define: do we have all the capabilities in-house? Can we deliver the first and the second level support on this issue? Or does it go more deep? Is it an issue that is related to the platform or infrastructure from Microsoft? Because if you have defined that, you have two different possibilities. If you look at the first and the second level support, we will use our own extensive knowledge and expertise and experience to diagnose the issue and resolve it. We do that, of course, together with the customer through our ticketing system. And if we see that the issue does not get resolved or it remains and it requires further escalations, our Crayon support team will use our third level support that has direct access to the Premier or Enterprise contract we have with Microsoft or AWS or soon Google. This is really important to showcase because this means that our customers and our partners, they have access through Crayon, through us, to the Microsoft Premier support and the AWS, all the highest support that we have with, or that exist and that we have with the vendors, our customers and our partners do have access to as well. And then, of course, if you have worked or escalated the issue or the challenge to Microsoft or AWS, we work all together to resolve the issue until it's resolved and the customer is satisfied or the partner is satisfied with the outcome. So the Crayon Support Service is really designed to provide the best possible support for our customers or our partners' cloud environments and or the stack, regardless of complexity of or vendor, right? So as you saw on the slide, we have the highest contracts, the support contract with our vendors. We have a lot of knowledge internally with our own teams and a lot of expertise. So our Crayon support team can really handle issues related to infrastructure, platform, software, etc. But then depending on how it goes, we either solve it ourselves or we escalate to Microsoft if you need or AWS if you need further assistance on the issue or the matter. Now, let's discuss some benefits because I think everybody is here to hear as well, like what are the benefits for us? What's in it for me? Let's go a little bit through it. So first of all, insurance. Jacob already mentioned that as well, like, okay, why would we need support? But that's really a benefit. Why? Because we really want to reduce, and our customers and our partners, they really want to reduce the chance of long and expensive downtime because we are all in the same boat. We want to keep our business running. We want to keep our people happy. We want to keep our customers happy in the end. If we go to the second one, the second is guidance and help. It gives you access to the right skills when needed, meaning you as a customer or a partner, you don't need to have all the skills in-house to solve really deep technical challenges or issues or assistance that you need. because those are very costly and hard to maintain, hard to keep. So that's why we have our team, and we can offer that support to you as a customer and a partner. So if you then look at the third benefit, it's a facilitator role that we are playing. So you have access to the, like I already mentioned, right? You have access to the best possible backend support agreement that we have with our vendors without paying the full cost for it. Because if we look in the market, I'll come to that in a second as well, but I'll give already a little bit. If you look at the market, we are really competitive on the pricing for our support contract. We saw it already across the globe. If we are competing with other suppliers, we are really competitive on that end, and we do have a high resolving rate, etc. But coming back to that in a second. And then, of course, our fourth reason is you have one support plan, you have one single point of contact, and we can support your whole environment or stack with one single point of contact. Like Jacob said, either it's Microsoft or AWS, we can support and we can provide help where needed. Now, we just talked about the benefits. To support these benefits, I also love always some numbers, right? So let's go through them. 60%. I mean, that's a high rate. So 60% is solved by our own Crayon team. 60% of all the tickets is solved by the experience of our own Crayon team. The other 40% we needed to involve Microsoft or AWS due to specific reasons of that issue. If we look at total yearly tickets, last year we had 30,000 tickets, meaning 1.5, 1.6 per month. So we do have an extensive team. We have a lot of people supporting because we needed to support those 30,000 tickets. And that's also a really nice number that I always like to discuss is 85% of all our tickets we respond to it within the hour. Next point I would like to go over is pricing. I mean, that's also something that you, of course, really like to talk about. So the pricing model. We offer two options for payment. There is the subscription possibility, and there is the pay-as-you-go possibility. The subscription model is based on your needs and your usage, and it offers a fixed monthly fee. And that's really based on, okay, how many tickets am I going to open? How many severity A tickets? And that's really something that we work together case by case to get you the best price for your needs, for your business needs, and also for your budget. Because Jacob mentioned it in the beginning as well. The support program that we offer is for smaller businesses, but also for bigger businesses. And for that, we can play around with the monthly fee depending on the needs of your business. Our second option is the pay-as-you-go model, as I said. That is really based on your actual volume and the complexity of the ticket. So if you have an on-premise issue that needed to have a lot of hours because it was super complex, you can then, of course, you get billed on the end of the month through pay-as-you-go. So because we're offering those two options, you can really, like I said already, you can really choose the option that best suits your budget and also your preference. Now, having all that information that we just talked about, Jacob and myself, it's always good to have a customer case. So let's go to the next slide. We have a premium support, a Crayon win case. We cannot talk about specifically which customer, but I really would like to illustrate a little bit how our support service benefit the business of this Norwegian public customer who needed a couple of things. So they were really in need of the best support level that there was for Microsoft. They needed to have an emergency response plan. And they needed to have a sensible, not too expensive pay-as-you-go model to go ahead with the support contract. Now, their business problem was today, or the day that we, of course, started talking, was that they found the costs versus the benefit of the direct support plan they had with Microsoft. So they had the highest support plan with Microsoft. It was hard to justify internally because it really did not correlate with their actual support volume and their needs that they had at the time. So, and they also needed, of course, like I said, the best support level and that emergency response for their business critical scenarios. Those doesn't happen, of course, daily, but were really in need to get that solved as well. So what did we offer together with that customer? We talked about all the benefits of the premium support plan. So the business solution in this case was really, okay, the customer goes for premium support plan from Crayon, and we offered them the pay-as-you-go model, which they really needed. I just discussed it in the business problem. And we had some optional add-on services that we could offer them, which means that could be scaling with their usage and their volume. So they didn't need to pay it upfront. It really was depending on how much are they using, how much is the volume of the tickets that they are requesting, and based on that we could give some add-on services as well. They also created together with our support team an emergency response plan and a process together with Crayon, which included the possibility of engaging the Microsoft Dart team as well. So that's really like built on their needs that they had at the time. Of course, what were the outcomes for not only for us, but also for the customer is they achieved a major reduction in support costs comparing to the support plan they had before. They had a sensible and transparent cost model. So we were really open, transparent to the customer. Okay, this is the pay-as-you-go that you had. These are the tickets that you opened. These are the hours that we spent on-premise tickets and issues. So this is what we were going to build you. And of course, there was also the high level or the highest level of support and escalation that we could offer through our premium or through our unified plan, our support plan that we have with Microsoft. So this is really a really nice use case of, it's not, as you see, right, it's not in the private community or in the private business only, it's also in the public sector. We can support, we are flexible to really work towards your needs, what in terms of usage, in terms of flexibility, and we really can look case by case what needs to be fine-tuned specifically for you. If we go to our conclusion slide. So to conclude, I would like to summarize a bit like the main points of our presentation, right? So we offer 24/7, 365 support services for cloud customers that can provide the insurance, the facilitator role that we play, the guidance and help that we offer for various technical issues and scenarios that you could face during your business hours or outside of the business hours. We have a global team of experts, and we offer a flexible pay-as-you-go or subscription model, again, based on your needs, based on your wishes, based on what you really would like to work in the specific model. We do have a high solving rate of tickets of 60% by our own team, with an average response time of 80%, average response time of 1 hour, which in total we have 80% of the time we achieve that. And we really have a high customer satisfaction rate in the end. And I think this is the most important one. We really aim to provide a transparent and cost-effective support solution that aligns with your business needs and really ensures you having IT peace of mind. With this, I would really like to thank you for your attention and your interest in our support services. I do hope that you now have a clear understanding of how our support services work, not only what we offer, but really in the back end as well, how it works and our team, and how it can benefit your business. Jacob and myself, we really would be happy to answer any questions that you have during the next couple of minutes.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you so much. One question from my side. As a potential customer, what the next steps should be?
I would highly recommend, because as you had, or if you could see with the customer case that I talked about, I would highly recommend to talk to the local Crayon team, because they also have the knowledge of what we can offer. They can talk with you. They can scope the issue that you have today or your problem, and then we can of course tailor our solution, tailor our support program, as we did in the as I showed in the customer case, that we really can tailor it to your needs during that day. And then we can work as well. Okay, guys, where you want to go to? What's your business plan in X amount of years? So we can really look at the scaling the support program according to your business growth that you have foreseen in the near future.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, I think it's time to go to the chat to see our questions. Thank you for addressing them. The first one, it is possible to have one support plan, including Microsoft and AWS support?
Yes, it is. That's basically that you have one support plan or agreement, but it basically consists of two components, right? Which is the Microsoft component and the AWS component. So it will be under the same agreement with Crayon. It's just that you covers both your Microsoft stack and environment and also your AWS part.
That's perfect. Thank you. And the second one, can you include other consultancy in the support program as well?
Yes, that is certainly possible. So we have customers but that really depends on the local country where you are located. And it's possible to have some extra consultancy hours based on the requirements, on your needs, and add it to the contract. So we can play with that. We can be flexible in terms of the pricing model as well that we just discussed. So that's all possible.
That's perfect. Thank you. And Jacob, going back a bit to your presentation, one question: how does the response time work for Crayon Support Service?
In general, Crayon mirrors, right, the vendor response time. So if you are familiar, right, with, for example, Microsoft support, right, they have different severities, right? And severity is based on obviously the business impact, right, of your incident. And Crayon, we always try to follow the vendor's business description or business impact description. So that means that we try to follow the severity, right, that Microsoft has for A, B, and C. Same with AWS, right? And that means that the response time is related to the actual severity level, right? Winston mentioned 1 hour, right, that we respond to 85% of the tickets. And obviously our support team, they are here and ready. They don't wait 2 or 4 hours if it's a severity B or C ticket, right? So the Crayon response, right, is obviously best effort, right? And we answered 85% within 1 hour. When we escalate back to the vendor, right, in the back end, they have a defined response time, right? So if you submit the severity B ticket to Microsoft, that's a business hours response and 2 hours response by default. So that means that what's the total response time? That's obviously the time that you spend, right, calling or sending your ticket to Crayon, plus the back-end vendor response time for those tickets that goes to the vendor. That is not necessarily 1 + 1 hour, because if you call Crayon support by phone saying I have an urgent issue, we can get those tickets to the vendor within 3 minutes, right? So, and that's also why we always say, right, use the phone as a support channel when you have a critical incident, right? Because then you get immediate attention, right, on that incident or case.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Vincent, for your insightful presentation. We really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for all your questions. As always, we always value your feedback, and we kindly ask you to share it with us. Right now, you can see the QR code on the screen, scan it, and the feedback form will appear. It takes just a few moments to complete it, and it's very important to us. Of course, if you have any other questions regarding our service, you can please reach out to us using the email address on the screen right now. our team is always here to help. And of course, thank you again for joining us. Wish you all a wonderful day and hope to see you all soon.